Hello everyone and welcome back to another 1v Cruise hardcore video. This is now episode 5 and we have a very strong team already. I'm actually surprised that we already are at a 5.5x attack boosting captain thanks to the Clash Mihawk that we got in the previous video. So if you haven't seen that video, go check that out. So we have a lot of free-to-play characters that I have on my watch list. So as you can see here, we just completed the rookie chopperman missions, which were quite easy. We should be able to move on to intermediate missions, which should take a bit longer as we get this 4-star chopper that I need to sell. Today is also quite exciting. If you are playing a regular account, day 5 gives you a free Super Sugo unit, so we can actually see which character we're going to get today. Of course, I have to sell them, but it's still quite interesting to see. It looks like we're actually going to get some crystals for limit break from the intermediate missions, which is quite necessary right now because I'm actually running dry on materials. I am gonna be limit breaking Mihawk in a moment, but I need I think 10 more crystals, so maybe I should first complete this mission and then we can max out Mihawk, get him to level 150, get him some cotton candy and max him out because he's gonna be very important for clearing difficult content, especially with that captain ability and his incredible special ability that reduces enemy defense up, gives us an attack boost, and also cuts enemy HP. Okay, so I think I do have enough materials to get the captain ability upgrade, so for now we can do that at least. Okay, never mind, I do have enough. I think I got some from the final missions from the rookie missions. But this limit break will upgrade his captain ability to give us 2 turns of cooldown at the start of the quest. Adds a 1.3x HP boost, which is very necessary because right now Mihawk doesn't give a lot of HP. And then he's going to become a 5.5x attack boost for slashes. This is the legend level captain ability. Honestly, I feel like it's cheating to use this guy, but we already banned the side free to play straw hats. I think it is reasonable that we use this guy at least. Okay, so I also do not have sockets for him right now. He only has 1 for cooldown, 1 for despair, and then 3 for bind. He also doesn't have his special maxed, but I'm not going to waste stamina farming more copies just for special level, because remember, currently we have the 100% chance of special level up, which means that we can feed some tomes that we get from the daily quests, and those will be guaranteed to upgrade his special. So we need 5 of those. We can actually use the batch select, and we can also give him some XP leveling up materials to get him to level 150. Now, as for the sockets, there is going to be a character recruitment quest on Extra Island where you can farm a Psy Mihawk, and you can use those copies to give him sockets. So I'm not going to give him Forbidden Tomes. As I said in the previous video, using the character recruitment quest is much smarter since Forbidden Tomes are quite rare for me at the moment. So we do need to feed 150 million XP to max this guy out. But I want to do it a bit slower, that's a word. Because there is a chance that we get the super success, which gives us a 1.5x increase in the fed XP. So in the case of feeding like 60 million, it would essentially give you an extra 30 million XP for free. So you definitely don't want to feed the max amount of XP you need, XP materials, because you could waste quite a bit if you do get super success. Unfortunately, we didn't get very lucky there on the first go. But at least we do get quite a lot of XP materials on a new account. So we didn't have to go and farm Heim turtles, which could have taken me a very long time. Okay, once again, not getting very lucky there, but Mihawk is definitely worth feeding him the mats, because remember, we are going to be running double Mihawk as captain, so the Bandai friend captain is going to mirror whatever power-ups we have into our Mihawk. So having our Mihawk powered up as much as possible means that we essentially have 2 like glass cannon characters on our team. So I think this is the last one. We need a teeny bit more materials. I'm just going to give him enough to max him out now. I'm getting a bit impatient here. Okay, that's just an extra 300,000 XP. Not much of a waste. Of course, you don't want to be overfeeding XP mats. I think Mihawk actually got a ink effect as well. Let me just check. That would be really cool if he had one. Okay, no, unfortunately, I'm just imagining that. I'm pretty sure there is a 5-star character that does have the ink effect. I think it is the Psy free-to-play Luffy you get at the start. Either way, I digress. This is a pretty good starter team here that we're going to have for slashes. And of course, feed my cotton candy. That'll increase Mihawk's attack by 200, his recovery by 100, and HP by 500. So that's how cotton candy works. Each point you give for attack is going to give you 2 stat increases for attack boost. Every cotton candy point is 5 increase for HP, and then for recovery it's only 1. So each cotton candy point is 1 recovery point, because that can be quite complicated to figure out as a beginner. But for now, another thing about Mihawk is that he actually does have usable rumble abilities. So if we do eventually make a good rumble team consisting only of free-to-play characters, then Mihawk is definitely going to be someone I include on my slasher team. But for now, the main point of today's video, as you can see there on the right, is Coliseum Saga. I also want to talk a bit about the Pirate King Adventures free-to-play units that I want to be looking out for. And I think tomorrow we can maybe take a look at Pirate King Adventures, get some tickets so that we can get additional free-to-play units to help us clear the 10-star Kizuna. So of course, it's going to be a cycle of getting free-to-play characters from all the different game modes, and then that'll help us clear Kizuna. But for now, this is our slasher team. Incredibly powerful for how little we've played on this account. Mihawk is a 5x attack boost base, and then if your character is a first class slasher, which I think all of us... Okay, unfortunately, Shanks is not a first class slasher. His first class there is Free Spirit, so he's only going to get a 5x attack boost, but Cavendish and our Kudo and Django are both going to get the 5.5x, which is... that's going to help a lot. Usopp's not a slasher there, but he does provide delay, which not only allows us to get extra time to kill the enemy, but it also procs the conditional type boost from Kudo and Django. So for now, we are just using the Ho ship. I don't have the Mihawk, the slasher ship. I do need to clear the training forest for that, which we can do in a future video. But for now, it's really not a priority. As we unlock co-op quests, that's going to be something we do only in the far future. I really don't want to burden another player with how terrible this account is right now. And I feel like it's a bit of a cheat if I play with my main accounts. It would be way too easy to clear this. But that's for another day. We only have co-op, I think, next month. So for now, let's start off with Coliseum Saga and see how it goes. And then we can talk about some of the Pirate King Adventures units that I want to look out for. And then we can end off the video for today. So Coliseum Saga, I'm actually not sure how difficult this one is. If you don't know about Saga, I made a showcase video on him for Doflamingo 2 Garb Challenge. He is incredibly powerful as a captain. If I don't want to use Mihawk as my captain, then this guy is a great alternative. I'm pretty sure he provides way more HP with a lower attack multiplier. So he's essentially just Mihawk, but tankier. So you can choose which one of them you want to use as your captain. But as a sub as well, he has an excellent special. So I don't think I want to do the Coliseum on Chaos difficulty. I don't think I can win that. But Underground should be fine. Hopefully we can clear this. There are going to be a few mini bosses that we have to clear before beating up Saga. And unfortunately, it's not a guaranteed drop rate on this difficulty. It's only a 50% chance on the exhibition, which is the lowest difficulty. It's only 30% chance. And then, of course, Chaos, it's guaranteed to drop him. What is that word, bro? Shichi Saiken Smitten Swordsman. What does that even mean, bro? Is that Japanese? I think that's Japanese. But yeah, Saga's gonna come as a 3-star character, and then we evolve him to 4-star, where he will have his level limit break upgrades. He's from, I think, the second One Piece movie. Either way, it doesn't really matter. I'm just gonna go through these mini bosses. I don't think they're gonna be too difficult, but if I do run into any trouble, I'll show you guys what's our strategy gonna be. I might have to stall a bit just to make sure that we have our specials ready. But if I have my specials, we should have an easy win. Okay, so let's see what the first boss does. He does have a combo hit barrier and a damage reduction. I shouldn't check the exact percentage. Only 50%. Yeah, we should be able to kill him. I didn't charge Mihawk special, but yeah, as you can see there, it's a very strong attack boost for Dex type slashes. and then a also very good attack boost just for slashes in general. We don't have anything to reduce damage reduction, but it should be fine. We have a 2.5x universal attack boost from Shanks, and then an attack and all boost from our Cavendish. Of course, attack boosts won't stack in this case. So honestly, this team is quite redundant at the moment because Shanks, Cavendish, and Mihawk all give an attack boost. So currently, this is a pretty bad slasher team. I'm not gonna lie, this is a pretty bad team. And then we also have both Kuro Django and also Shanks both reducing the speed. I mean, it's so unnecessary. So definitely there can be a lot of improvements here. But as we get more slasher characters, we can make this team really good. I have one character from PKA in mind that is going to work so well in this team, and I'm very excited to get him. But for now, let's see if we can kill this guy and then move on to the next boss. Unfortunately, we couldn't inflict him with delay immunity. I mean, with delay, because he does have a delay immunity, which kind of makes Usopp useless, and also Kuro Django with the conditional attack boost for delay. Okay, so the first boss there was very easy. He had a exceptionally low HP. I think he only had about 100,000. Okay, boss 2, Monkey D. Luffy. Okay, that's a pretty cool sprite. I think that's Log Luffy's outfit. Wow, okay, 20 turns of special bind. We cannot counter that. No way, but he has a very low HP. It doesn't really matter. Way easy. Even in the first boss, this was a lot easier. There was no defensive effects. Yeah, honestly, maybe I could have done the chaos difficulty. But honestly, I'd rather not waste my time, and then we don't even get a copy of Saga in this episode. So, I mean, 50% is not a terrible rate. We should at least be able to get a few copies of Saga before the video ends. Honestly, I actually do want to go up against another Clash character that's available today, which is the Fujitora that we have from the Sai Clashes. He's also a level limit break character, and I think having him is going to make the team a lot more diverse. He doesn't do the same things that our other character does. He doesn't give an attack boost. He doesn't reduce despair. He's more focused on enemy defensive effects. And he also has the target debuff, which he'll inflict on the enemy. So I think he's going to be a lot more interesting to have on the team. He's a very difficult piece of content, so I would have to clear him on the low difficulty as well. But if we do have some extra time, maybe I can consider going after him. Okay, so let's see what Law has for us. I think this is one of those characters you can actually get from those special Viva card. No, I don't know. The jump special tickets that we have. Or he's another character you can get from the medal exchange. But he just gave us a very weak ore boost. Literally no other debuffs. That's incredibly simple. I mean, let's see how much HP he has. Maybe he's quite tanky. He's definitely more tanky than the previous bosses, but really not too much of a problem. These bosses are all fodder. At least we get a rainbow gem from this. And another thing relating to rainbow gems that I wanted to talk about is, though, I actually noticed that in the Rayleigh's Bazaar we do have the gem store. And while everything in there is terribly priced, there's nothing there that you want to be getting as a serious player who is doing pulls. But for me, since I'm essentially not using any rainbow gems, there is a chance that I might end up buying something from the rainbow gem store, but we'll see. As I said, I do want to get to 10,000 rainbow gems, as you can see there on the right, the long-term goals for the account. Also, I should probably be stalling here because this is the actual fight against Saga. Really uncertain about what I'll be seeing in this fight. You really don't want to be going into content blind like this, but it is supposed to be a very easy piece of content. So I'm really not too worried. But when it comes to Clash Fujitora, I definitely will take a look at some of the gimmicks before I actually go into the content itself. But the one character I was talking about that I really want from Piking Adventures is going to be the Prime Whitebeard. He is going to work for the New Kizuna Clash because there is going to be a weak chain lock on stage 2, I think. So we can use his special to give us a chain lock on stage 1, and then we can essentially just block that debuff. So he's a great option. A perfect character for that piece of content would have actually been the Sai Sanji from the free-to-play Straw Hats, but I did sell him, remember, so unfortunately that's not an option. even with Mihawk's special and Limit Break maxed, his cooldown is quite high compared to everyone else. And these guys are just going to bind my units. I still need to max these sockets, but I think they're only giving us 1 turn of bind, so it's not too much of a problem. I mean, these are just fodder mobs you see from story mode, and even if they did give more turns of bind, I could just use the swap effect. Okay, the final boss, let's see what Saga has for us. I do actually have the ship special max, so I could use an orb boost. Oh no. Oh no. Okay, well, it's a 90 turn threshold. There's no way we could have removed it. I don't think it's that crazy of a threshold, and it's the only buff he has. I remember we don't have normal attacks only, so I can just use this special. And that, as you can see, that takes a massive chunk of Saga's HP. Gives us an attack boost. We can use our other Mihawk, and he's basically half HP. So this is how good Mihawk's HP cut can be if there's no normal attacks only. And remember, this targets all enemies. So if there's a massive wave of 6 enemies that all have high HP, Mihawk will just cut all the HP by 50% if we have double Mihawk as our captains. We can't delay him. What else can we do? We can get an attack boost. We already have that though. We can get an orb boost from the host ship. Our orbs are pretty bad, but I think we can use Django to shuffle them. Also, Django is Dex. He's gonna have type advantage, but I really don't think it matters. He might have a revive. No, okay, so that was pretty easy, and we did get the drop. 50% chance. That was a coin toss, heads or tails, and I got it perfect. So I'm just gonna do the rest of the farming off camera. I mean, I'm just gonna show you guys what his abilities have at level number break 5 in his 4-star form, just so you guys can see why I actually wanted to get him, how good he can be in content. But there we go, Saga, our first Coliseum character on the account. That's pretty huge. He does also have a support effect attaching to all slashes, I think. No, just Zoro. But it is a 10% base stats for both attack, HP, and also recovery in addition to that. So he's going to be used in a lot of different contexts. As a captain, as a sub, as a support ability. Of course, we don't have any Zoros on the account yet. But of course, we have units like Clash Zoro, who I will end up getting sometime in the future. He's going to be a great asset to our slasher team. Okay, so Saga, 3-star character, actually good to have. Surprisingly, I think this guy actually works best if there is another Zoro on the team. I think he gets additional, like, final tap increased damage. I'm not too sure, but we can take a look right now and see what he can do. So Saga, 4-star character, I can get him to level 150, but he's going to cut the crew's HP by 70%. Deal it as AoE damage to all enemies. Threshold reduced by 6. A 3-turn attack boost, but once again another attack booster, so a lot of redundancy here. If you have a Zoro in the crew or set as a support for Saga, then you get a extension of base attack boost and also a final tap buff, which is non-turn based, so you can actually use or get a final tap buff on stage 1 and then have it carry over until the final stage 5. You just have to make sure that you don't do a final tap or you don't tap on your 6th character until you need to use it, but it will make it so that our final tap, whenever we do want to use it, is 20% stronger. In other words, a 1.2x damage increase for our slasher and driven character if they are the final tapper. Very niche buff, but it is there if you do have a Zoro in the crew. Ben Beckman, I think, is also a slasher unit, but it doesn't really matter. He's pretty terrible. No, he's a striker shooter, and he only gives the captain a matching or a very weak ability. But once again, it is another support character we could have access to. But that's about it. I thank you guys for watching. I don't think there's enough time to go through Fujitora. Maybe in another episode tomorrow, maybe. I think tomorrow we can maybe go through Clash Fujitora and then also pick up some characters from the PKA shop and try to beat the very low levels of Pirate King Adventures, which should be quite exciting. But I thank you guys for watching. Oh wait, no, first we need to do the free multi where we can get a Super Sugo unit. I also want to talk about this massive mistake I made on this account. So as I said in the previous video, also voice crack. I did find an emulator thanks to someone suggesting in the comments. I think it was Walid, or his name was something like that. But anyways, he recommended Mimo Emulator, which is one of the only emulators that I know that works with Treasure Cruise now. And I immediately transferred my data from my phone in excitement, and unfortunately I lost my OPTC run rewards, which was 18 Rainbow Tavern medals, which I got from getting to about a 120,000 point score, which you might remember was much higher than what I actually got in the video. The reason for that is when I am recording, the phone performs way worse. Also, we got EZO, that's another 5,000 rally points, very nice. But when I am not recording, it's much easier to play OPTC run. I was able to get a 120,000 point score, 18 Rainbow Tavern medals, and then I also got the treasure map rewards from our one run of playing treasure map. Now, I'm not too disappointed about that. It was basically nothing that I got from the rewards because, I mean, East Blue League, I only did one run. It really wasn't anything that crazy, but I wanted to collect all those rewards on camera for you guys. But unfortunately, when you transfer your account from one device to another, even if it's on the same OS, you lose all of your mails. So I lost those 18 Rainbow Tavern medals and some limit break materials from treasure map, but honestly, what can you do? It's not too end of the world. If it was a okay secret rate, another 5k rally points, what the actual fuck, bro, what? All we did is I did 15 multis for this guy in my main account and I didn't get him or Brook. And then I just get him from this random pool. I didn't even know that he was included here. I guess they updated. Oh shit, who's it? Kaido versus Luffy. Imagine I was keeping these units. This multi was bonkers, man. And remember, versus Luffy actually goes quite well with the Frankie. So wow, if you were keeping this is quite the multi. That hurts to sell this Frankie. I mean, I'm just shocked that we got him. But I mean, it is what it is. 15,000 rally points. I by instinct I favorited this Frankie because this is the first time I've ever pulled him. That was quite a startle. Let me also sell these guys. Wow, okay. But yeah, I lost those Rainbow Tavern medals. As long as it's not a Rainbow Gems that I'm losing, it doesn't really matter anyways. We can't do pulls. Rainbow Tavern medals expire, so it's really not that big of a deal. It still sucks anyways, though. But I'll see you guys in the next one. Currently, we have about, I think, 70,000 rally points. So in the future video, we can see what we want to do with those points. I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace. And I'm out.